Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. My name is Jasmine from Sweet Simple Vegan, and today I'm going to be showing you how to turn this baby into some delicious plant-based meatballs. So working with an eggplant can be intimidating to some people. It definitely was for me when I first went vegan because I didn't know what to do with this. I usually had eggplant dishes at restaurants, but I never really cooked it for myself at home. So this eggplant meatball recipe was actually one of the first recipes I ever made with eggplant at home, and it's one of my favorite ways to serve it. So let's get started. Excuse the cooktop, it's gonna get a little noisy, but I'm gonna try my best here to allow you to hear me. What I'm going to do first is saute some things and cook down the eggplant. So eggplants have a lot of liquid in them, so we are going to cook that all off and break them down for the meatballs. So in my nonstick pan here, I'm just gonna cook with some water, but if you want, you can cook with oil. I'm gonna make these meatballs oil-free, but you can use oil if you want. So in my pan, I'm going to be adding in 3 ingredients. So I have onions, garlic, and celery. And I'm going to cook all of this until the onions are translucent, the garlic is fragrant, and everything is nice and soft. And when cooking with water, what I like to do is cook this until the water dries out and then add more water as needed to prevent burning. If you put too much water, you're gonna end up boiling everything down. So I just do like 2 to 3 tablespoons at a time. All right, these are nice and soft. I'm just going to remove them from the heat and transfer them to a large bowl. And then in the same pan, I'm going to add in my eggplant. And these are just diced up with the skin on. And like I mentioned earlier, we're just basically going to sweat these down and cook them until they reduce in size and become really soft. Next, I'm going to transfer the eggplant to the bowl with the onions and celery and garlic. And then to this bowl, I am going to add in chickpeas. And I'm mixing this together until everything is nice and uniform. Next, I'm going to be transferring it to my food processor. And in order for this to process, I guess, easily, I am going to be doing half of the mixture at a time, because if I do all of it, some of it will get stuck and not processed the same as the others or the rest, and then it won't be consistent. I don't want this to be completely mashed. I want it to still have a little bit of texture in it. So you don't want it to become a puree, I should say. And the reason why, like I mentioned earlier, you don't want to process it fully is because meatballs have texture and you want this to have good texture. You don't want it to just be a mush. And the chickpeas really add a lot of good texture into here. So to my bowl, I'm going to be adding in my remaining ingredients. So I have a prepared flax egg, which is just flaxseed meal mixed with water. You can also do a chia egg as well. This will be the binder in the recipe. Meatballs usually have eggs. This is a vegan recipe, so we're gonna use a vegan egg. Next, I'm adding in some nutritional yeast. This is just gonna bring some really good flavor. Dried oregano, salt and pepper, some liquid smoke, which will add a nice smoky flavor to our meatballs. I love using liquid smoke. Then we have some fresh herbs. So I have some fresh basil and then some fresh parsley. And then lastly, is this the last? Yes, lastly I'm adding in some breadcrumbs. This will just help bind everything together and help it hold its shape. And I'm going to mix this all together until our meatball batter forms, our meatball mixture. There you go, mixture. If you want to make this gluten-free, you could totally use gluten-free breadcrumbs in this recipe. I've seen some at the store and I've actually used them before in this exact recipe, and it works pretty well. Works very well, I should say. So you can definitely make it gluten-free very easily, and then however you serve it, just serve it with like gluten-free noodles, gluten-free bread, depending on how you're gonna serve the meatballs. You can even serve these as an appetizer on some little toothpicks at a party with some marinara on the side. That'll be delish. So I have my baking sheet here, and what I'm going to do, a lot of things happening on this counter right now. What I'm going to do is take a cookie scooper and form my meatballs. Very simple, just clean hands. We're going to scoop this out, and we will have all the directions and measurements on the blog link down below, so don't worry about that. Roll it up, and you got yourself a meatball. So basically, I'm just going to keep forming these until I fill up my whole pan. And the good thing about these meatballs is they don't expand when they bake, obviously, like a cookie would. So you can put them pretty close together on the baking sheet, and they'll cook just fine. I wanted to, while I'm doing this, talk about the different ways you can cook these meatballs. So I've tried baking them, which is my favorite method, and then I have pan fried them, which does work, but it's not ideal to me. The texture wasn't exactly what I wanted it to be, and it didn't dry out enough. So you can try that out if you want, but I really like the baking method better. And then another thing is you can also air fry them, which I've tried. But again, I think regular baking in a standard oven is preferred for me. In an air fryer, it can dry out. So I like to cook these in the oven because it still retains some moisture, but it's not like mushy, if that makes sense. Another thing is this recipe does make quite a few meatballs, but what's good is after you bake all the meatballs, you can actually, whoo, I don't know what just fell. You can actually freeze these and enjoy them in the future. There are a ton of different ways that you can serve meatballs. I actually Googled different ways to serve meatballs, and there are blog posts that highlight that, which I was very surprised about. But today we're going to be showing you a few different ways that you can serve these. This recipe is actually really old. I had this on the blog like
4 years ago?
Maybe even 5. It was a long time ago. I don't think I knew you yet. I definitely didn't know you, so it was more than 5 years ago.
No, we did this together. It was like one of the first things we did together.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Or did we remake it?
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know, but anyways, this is from a long time ago, and we actually reworked this recipe and simplified it a bit because it did have quite a few more ingredients, and it had more eggplant, and it was just a little more tedious. So I simplified it, I updated the recipe, and I think it's a lot better than it was before. So hopefully, if you had tried it before, and then you can try it again, and maybe you'll like it better. I'm going to pop these into the oven and bake them for about 25 to 30 minutes or until they are nice and golden and they dry on the outside. And then we'll show you what they look like when they're done. Ooh, these are flying. So these are done. They are nice and golden brown. They smell delicious and they are ready to be dressed up. As you can see, the bottom is nice and golden, which is what we want. I'm baking the second batch right now, and then we are going to dress these up. All right, so it is a couple days later. We saved the meatballs. They actually keep well in the fridge, which is good, so we can like share that with you guys too.
You could probably freeze them too, right?
Yeah, definitely. Freeze them after cooking them though. But now we are going to show you some of our favorite ways to serve up these meatballs.
The first thing we like to do is toss our meatballs in some marinara sauce, and they go great topped on spaghetti or with any pasta. We like to top ours with a little bit of fresh black pepper, as well as some vegan parm. This is Kelly's Croutons parm, and it is so bomb. Just a little pinch of fresh parsley, and we're ready to enjoy. The next way to enjoy these meatballs is on some pizza. So we have a pizza dough recipe that is on the blog. We'll also link it down below. Basically, we just put some pizza sauce down, spread it as evenly as we could, and we're just going classic here, so we just added some vegan cheese. And then the meatballs we just broke up into little pieces and spread it out on the pizza. And then you just pop it into the oven until it is golden brown, and then it's time to dig in. The last way we're enjoying these meatballs today is on a sub. We're making a meatball parm sandwich. We made this quick and easy vegan cheese sauce by simply melting some Follier Heart mozzarella shreds with a little bit of oat milk, but you can use any plant-based milk that you want, and just melted it down and whisked it together until it was nice and creamy. It's a great alternative to slices and shreds that sometimes don't always melt right, so definitely give it a try. And then we just topped it with some fresh parsley, and the rest was history.
I hope you enjoyed this video. We are going to dive into all the recipes we made today.
I'm excited. Well, the one recipe we transformed into 3 different things. Whew. This pizza looks bomb.
It's delicious. So if you like this video, let us know. Leave a comment down below. We hope that you can try out this recipe. And if you want to try any of our other recipes, they're always on sweetsimplevegan.com. I think that's all we have to say for today.
Yeah, if you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. Comment down below. Did you say that already?
I said comment, I didn't say thumbs up, but
okay.
Yeah, do both.
And subscribe if you haven't already. We post videos every Wednesday and Friday. And if you're new here, welcome. We're happy to have you. And we'll see you soon.
Yeah.
Peace out.